This Burton Gore-Tex guide glove is you know, slowly and wonderfully becoming one of my favorite one glove quiver gloves, and I just love this. This is the 2019. This is the 2018, I think. They haven't really changed at all. That I've used extensively. I mainly rode these gloves. I used to love the Yeti, and these seem bulky compared to the Yeti, but now you know that the Yeti's gone and there aren't many tight, fun fitting gloves. I just love these, and these have just molded to my fingers, and you can see like this is kind of like before, after, before, after. And these are amazing gloves. I was a little worried with the zipper, but even afterwards, you know, they're long enough to where I don't really have to worry about getting snow in them often. And if you do, man, I've never, you know, oftentimes leather gloves can get pretty soggy, and these have, but they've just got this like really like good feel inside. It's like there's a lot of insulation here, but it feels like it's just been compressed so thick that it has a smaller profile. I'm just never been a mitten guy. I know that's kind of the thing these days, but it's just out of the hundreds of mittens I've tried and wanted to make mine, they just didn't work very well. And you know, so I've always kind of been a glove guy. I just love that dexterity. But you can see they still kind of fit around the wrist really well, even after, you know, gosh, this probably has like 80 days. I've tried a lot of other gloves, but I just kind of always bring these along, especially if I'm trying like a glove I'm not certain about. But just that insulation, it packs in even more. This definitely feels thinner than this one, but this will feel like this, you know, 30 days from now. But man, it's warm enough for me to handle even like the coldest days that I see in the Pacific Northwest, which aren't super cold. But even when I go out to, let's say, like colder places, like more in the middle America, rocky kind of thing, you know, when you can get some colder days than what I see here, you know, you can just add a liner. And these things are amazing. They're almost as good as, you know, they're really close to the Gandhi glove that I really like too. They're expensive, but man, this leather, the leather feels a little more supple this year. And, you know, it's got this like pitted grip. I love these leashes. It's just, I can't wear gloves without them because it's now in my head, just throw them off. You know, and they hang on your wrist. So as I'm riding, I've got to make a phone call. These can't, I think they have screen grab technology, but I've just never, it's just a little more difficult. It works, but it's just much better to use your fingers and, you know, to be a little more dexterous. But I just throw them off and leave them at my side. It's such a better thing than, and if I go up with gloves that I don't have, I'm so afraid I might just throw the glove off, not thinking, and there it goes off the chair, and then I have to go down the hill with, you know, my hand tucked in my jacket. But I just love these, the warmth, the snot wipes in both hands. I wouldn't mind like along one of the fingers, like maybe a goggle wipe, you know, up here in the, with a lot of freezing fog and you know, snow that's wet sometimes at the bottom, and then wet or rainy, and then when you get to the top it gets a little light and fluffy, and there's all those varied things. I wouldn't mind a little scraper, but you can just put a goggle wipe on your finger and handle it yourself that way, and that's what I did a lot with these last year. But I just had to get a new pair and just talk about these. They're expensive, but you really get what you pay for. You get a lot of warmth in a compact package, and you get great leather that even when you don't treat it with, you know, the stuff that comes with it, oftentimes they give you like, I forget what it's called right now, like nick wax or something like that. and you rub this treatment all over it. Even if you don't do that, these still, I can ride all day in a wet day and it doesn't get through. The outside is soaking wet, but there's enough insulation and enough Gore-Tex that keeps it all out, and it doesn't soak through and get my hands wet. And I love, even if I get my hands wet, or if I, you know, accidentally bring some snow down into it, you know, you take the gloves off and you're doing something like adjusting, and then you put them back on and the snow accidentally falls in there, and it, you know, it's like right up in your fingertips. It still just melts and goes away. It just like magically is wicked away and disappears, and that's so cool. And I love how my fingertips are just kind of like right here. Like a lot of gloves have this kind of like baggy feel to it, and these feel much more like smaller, tighter gloves, but they have all that insulation. And then double snot wipes, leashes, amazing Gore-Tex, and just a good all-around feel to where this is like, if I only could use one glove, I'd probably get this. This and the combination of the AK Tech leather for those warm days is kind of perfect. It's just a great glove. So you can kind of see, you know, this is what they'll look like when you buy them, you know, a year from now, if you ride as much as I do. And this is what they look like new. But these, I almost didn't get new ones because I knew these guys had another year in them. So it's a great investment. If you want to do it right one time, get a really good pair of gloves. The Burton AK Guide, just my favorite. There you have it.